Good morning. How are we doing? It is Saturday, 29th of May, bank holiday weekend. Hope we are up to some nice things. Much planned. Let me know if you're coming in. If you're coming in live, give me a hello. If you are on replay, drop a replay in the comments. And
brilliant.
what was the replay? Hang on. Let me turn me on. I'm over on there. So that was our pelvic floor workout this morning, which just jumped on in the background. Anyway, so talking today about two questions here that I want to cover. Given that I do these every day, I could have probably just split them into two, but so much to talk about. So little time. Anyway, the first thing I want to talk about today is, so I've been writing the last few days about the scales. Good morning, Joss. Afternoon now, but, evening for us, isn't it? Us early birds. So, does this mean the scales don't count? And no, they still do count, and they are a good measure still. We know from research that lower weight is linked with healthier outcomes in many cases. So we know that weight is still an important thing here. The key thing that I'm saying here is that if weight is the only measure, and let's face it, the way most of us have been taught is that we weigh ourselves once a week. We have a weigh-in day on Friday or Wednesday or whenever it is. And, it doesn't really matter at the start of the week. If we have that mindset where it's like, we can just make up for it later in the week and hopefully the damage won't be done. And in my experience, it's just the wrong way to think about this as a journey rather than an outcome event. Every week we're going towards the outcome because there's so many variables that come into weight. Now, if it then means that you are just using the scales as your only measure of success, and you hit a day where maybe you've joined our live cooking like we did last night and we had a veggie curry, which I've shared on the page below this, so you can have a look at it on the YouTube channel as well. Really simple recipe, but there's chickpeas in there, there's lots of veggies in there. You may be fermenting the day after, without use a better word. And the result of that, the more fibre, you may short-term actually weigh a bit more. My point here, it may actually mean you've put on a few pounds because you've got more body going through you've got more nutrition going through, more food going through the digestive tract. That doesn't mean you gained fat. Now, if your response to that is, oh, bloody hell, I've been really good this week and I've not lost anything, and then that stops you going on for one more day with the habits which will go in place. In fact, Alison put a comment in. She said, I've just been focusing on the habits for the last month or so, and I've lost a stone, which is awesome to see because, and this isn't for everyone, because some people, and even the research shows this, weighing daily actually helps a lot of people because they respond to that weighing. And I actually recommend that for some people because you're able to see how much the scales fluctuate naturally outside of your control. Just that's the way the human body works. It's only what we've been taught through diet clubs, slimming clubs, who say, your results are based on your weekly weigh-in. Now, you throw in a lot of other variables there, then if that scale doesn't go your way, and then you think, oh, sod it, I'll just go for another week, that's another week. That's another day. That's another few days that we're maybe not on the habits because we think, what's the point? When actually we're losing sight of the focus on our health, our risk of disease, our risk of diabetes, risk of heart disease, bone density. I got a message yesterday, 2 days ago, from someone who said that they only realised just how amazing having more strength is when they had to help their neighbour who was on the floor, stuck, lift them up and get them onto a bed. And it was like, wow, I'd have never done that before. And it's those things that we forget. Like, this is a journey. It's not just one variable. Hey, Sue. Hey, Deborah. How you doing? So, just to clarify, it does still matter, but it's not the only measure. You've got to know your relationship with it. And for some cases, weighing yourself daily is quite a good thing. Take the average over the week. If that just means that you're just obsessive with it, then you got to screw the scales for a bit and focus on the habits, maybe for a month at a time, maybe for 2 months at a time. Because those habits, most of us know what to do. As long as we're doing them, they all take care of the outcome, aka the scales, over time. So, I hope that helps. I hope that clarifies a few things. Also, about restrictive diets and when they can work. Because I had a chat with someone 2 days ago, I think it was. And we were talking about what their kind of nutrition habit is going to be. And they mentioned that they just want to kind of get rid of bread, but then they said they want to eat less bread, because when I eat bread I just don't eat as many vegetables, salads, and I just feel a bit bloated. I don't feel great when I do it, but it's just so easy and convenient. That's what they said. Okay, I always lose a bit of weight when I do it. And it's an easy change for me. I don't really miss it that much. And it's not like I'm going to give it up forever. However, I know that, this is their words, you shouldn't be restrictive with your diet and you should have moderation. So I'm not sure whether I should do it. So now I don't know what to do. And this is a really interesting example of where using terms like moderation is key as a generalization for everyone is a bit damaging, actually, because actually for her, she knows she's not giving it up forever, but she can, if we set a rule rather than, okay, I only have bread on the weekends for her, it's not restrictive, like totally, but she's happy with it. And actually, when we use the word restrictive, we're always focusing on what we're missing out on, aka the eating of, but what not we're missing out of, what's the other side? So for example, by eating the bread, she's missing out on feeling better, not feeling bloated all the time. She's missing out on that. And when we think about that, she's like, yeah, I've now got the option to eat bread at the weekends if I want to, and I'm happy with that. I might not even do that. But my point here is any diet, this is regarding to weight loss and fat loss as well. Her goal is weight loss and fat loss. Hey, Jane. So given that her goal is weight loss and fat loss, she does need to create a calorie deficit. And that's not massively restrictive for her. But for someone else, that could be. My point here is the terms moderation can mean a million things to different people. And the words restrictive diets can mean a million different... Some people, that would be like a shake diet. Other people, that would be like giving up carbs. So some people, that's like not having sugar in their coffee. It really is such a wide variety of things. And that's why sometimes we can get so confused with such cookie cutter advice. And that's why, in my opinion, people get better results when they set clear habits, like implementation intention. The process around that is that you say, I will do X at this time then. This just simplifies the whole process down, because you don't have to go, oh, I have a bit of that, bit of moderation, bit of moderation. I have a moderation in moderation is actually not always a good thing. Moderation in moderation is probably a better thing than just moderation. So there's going to be times in your life where maybe you want to push on a bit more, like where she's at now. Summer's in her mind. She's really motivated right now, but we're not pushing it so far that it's unrealistic. It might be unrealistic to say you're never, ever going to eat bread again. And then you're going to set yourself up to fail. And it depends on your relationship with the word failure as well. Is that failure, or is it just, I'm just not going to do it for this period of time? However, this is about lifelong habits. So right now, week 1, let's aim for 3 workouts and bread only at the weekend. In this instance, I'm just sharing this conversation. And all of a sudden, it's clear boundaries. It's very simple. And if after week 1, she's done 3 workouts, there's 3 more workouts than the week before, she's feeling better, endorphins flowing, more motivation, proving evidence that she can do it. Confidence loves evidence. All of a sudden, her confidence builds. All of a sudden, then she's wanting to work out more because she's feeling better, less bloated from the bread, as that impacts her. Not everyone. Research on bread is actually generally okay, especially with fat loss, weight loss. And now she's got the option to have it. So my point here is restrictive diets, they can be a tool in the toolbox. Depends on how you define them. But again, I hope that helps. Ramble on as normal. So in short, the scales, they still matter if your goal is fat loss, weight loss, and you are in a BMI that you want to get down 100%, there still is, they still do count. However, you've got to remember that the risk of disease, heart disease, diabetes, risk of falling, blood sugar levels, muscle, strength, fitness, endorphins, mental health, confidence, all these things, independent of the scale, still matter too. So if 1 week doesn't go your way, it's okay. Did you do what you said you would do? Because if you did, all these things are going to come in your way too. And if that stopped you just going on for one more day, and then you actually saw the results that day later, how annoyed would you be if you knew that if I just carried on for one more day of consistency, I'd have got those results that I wanted? Hindsight. Anyway, the shorter the gap we make that gap between beating ourselves up, the better our results will be. Just face it, it's not that serious. Just one hit. It's just one measure. So I hope that helps. Any questions, just let me know. Have a lovely weekend. And any questions, just let me know. Take care.